Hello everyone, welcome back to HeadTrip Air World Tour, and welcome to a quick and short flight over the Sorrento Peninsula from Naples, Italy, down to Sorrento, and then around the peninsula to the Amalfi coast through Praiano, Positano, Amalfi, and then eventually making our way to Salerno. That is the plan for today's flight. So, without further ado, I think what we'll do is we'll hop in the cockpit and get started up. I think we've left our plane in pretty good shape from our last flight. We'll go ahead and come on over and start removing covers. Remove the pitot covers first. Those are gone. We'll go ahead and remove our intake covers and our engine covers. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the wheel chocks. We've got our parking brake on, and we'll come in. We'll unfasten the control lock, load our baggage, close the door. And we will close passenger door. Passenger comfort index almost to maximum. We'll try to make this flight as pleasant as possible. Got a little bit of dirt on the windshield, but that just brings character to the plane. Everything looks fairly good. We won't clean the aircraft just now. Everything looks good there, and let's just do one quick inspect. And brakes are in good shape, batteries in good shape. It looks like everything's in fairly good shape. So now fuel might be our one, but we're not. This is quite a short flight, so we should be okay. We'll just check on that though before we hop up into the plane. I'm just going to quickly flip the battery on here, and then we'll check a few diagnostics over here on the panel. Everything looking good with the battery, the voltage, indicator lights. And fuel. We've got about a third of a tank fuel. That's not a ton. It would be nice to fill up just a tad. So I think we'll do that. I'm going to bring avionics online. And we'll call in some fuel. Niner 09er, Kyrgyzstan South, got a 1 0 departure for runway 17, squawk 7734. Come to our airport chart, get ground frequency. Naples ground is going to be 121.9. Before we get our fuel, we'll set our altimeter as well. So let's leave those there. There we go. I'm going to tune to 121.9. Actually, we are on 121.9. That's nice. So let's why don't I go ahead and activate. Request some fuel. Whiskey Tango 1. Excuse me. Correction. Naples ground. Whiskey Tango 168 requesting fuel. We'll see how that goes. For the moment, going. Let's get our battery off. And let's see if we can get someone out here to fill us up. Might take just a few moments. While we do that, let's go ahead and take a quick look at our flight plan. So right now the flight plan has us kind of coming out of Naples. I believe we're scheduled for runway 24, which is going to take us down this direction, and we're just going to kind of fly along the coastline past Vesuvius to the left, get a good shot of Vesuvius, and then we'll come around. Now this is, when we drove this route, this is where we had to go through tunnels here to get through this area, and that brought us right back into this peninsula. But we'll just fly around, we'll see it from the sky, and then we're going to kind of push around on the Amalfi coast here. So on the Amalfi coast, we've got Praiano, Positano. Let's see where we got that. I don't know if it's listed here on my map, but I want to say Amalfi is going to be about right there. And Positano is probably right up against here, but I could be wrong. But I think that's correct. Praiano somewhere out here. Alright, looks like the fuel's arrived. Let's go ahead and bump our fuel up to about 70%. It's going to be more than adequate for this flight, but we're used to flying with that load. And we'll go ahead and send fuel away. And I think we did. Yeah. He's heading out. Alright. Not bad. Now we can get down to business. Let's get down to the brass tacks. Back in the cockpit. Let's set our throttle up to about a quarter. Propellers close to full. Mixture. Mid-high. Let's make sure our parking brake is set. Alright. Everything looks like it's in pretty good shape, so we're gonna go ahead. We'll go ahead and flip on our battery once again, and this time along with the alternator. And we'll get our beacon on, our nav lights, and our strobe. Fuel pump on the left, up. We'll go ahead and set the primer to the left engine. Magnetos on, the rights, the lefts, both, and start. Nope. And I know exactly why. That is because I'm pretty sure we have shut off the fuel supply, and that is exactly the problem. Fuel supplies and cow flaps out. That should make all the difference in the world in starting up the vehicle. Let's give it one more crank. Left fuel pump off. Right fuel pump on. Set the primer over to the right engine. And let's crank the right engine. And with the propeller spinning, we can rely upon the alternator to give us power for our avionics.
Ground, good day, Golf Tango Hotel Yankee Alpha, with information.
Right fuel pump off. Let's make sure the alternator is working as intended. And it looks like it is. Our voltage and amps look good. Cabin air is flowing on cold to keep us comfortable. Temperature control. We'll move both of those up. Cool air. No defrost needed. Turn the fan on. Perfect. Now, next thing we need to do is call an ATIS so that we can get a good altimeter reading. There we go. All right. Let's see. Frequency. I think we're on ground. I do believe we're on ground. I'm just going to verify that just quickly here. Ground is 121.9. That's what we're on. But we're going to move over to ATIS 131. Or excuse me, 135.975. 135.975. So let's go ahead and do that. 135. Whoops. 975. And let's bring ATIS on board.
One tree. Landing and departing runway 24. Transition level 080. Read back all hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information golf.
Information golf.
Capodichino Airport information golf. 0554 Zulu. Wind 005 at 5. Temperature 27. 2.1 tree. QNH101 tree. Landing and departing runway 24. Transition level 080.
QNH is 1013, which is right
Advise on initial contact you have
there.
Information golf.
Oops, excuse me, wrong way. 1013 is right
Airport
there.
Information golf. 0554 Zulu. Wind 005 at 5. Temperature 27. 2.1 tree. QNH101 tree. Landing and departing runway 24. Transition level 080. Read back all hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information golf.
I think that gives us the information we need. So we've got a transition level of 8,000 feet. However, we're going to be doing a little bit of meandering through the coastline, so I'm not quite sure how closely we're going to follow that. But our altimeter is set, which is a little surprising because I thought we were really close to sea level here. This must be up on a hill because this has got us sitting at 300 feet above sea level, which is kind of interesting. I wouldn't have thought so. But who am I to argue, right? I mean, if you come out here to the airport, here's the airport. Maybe it's up on a hill. That's the only thing I can think of. Just kind of looks like we have a little bit of elevation coming up here, so that might make a little bit of sense. Airport's kind of built up on the hill and then down in the valley, so for some reason, I mean that's about a 300-foot drop to the shoreline. So, interesting. And there we are at the airport. Line us up there.
So I'm afraid you have to have the oceanic clearance before departure. We were actually just discussing that with you, that especially we followed a new plan for you. Well, we have new flight plans with the current reg
all right.
on it, so I don't know if it's just possible getting into the system.
We're scheduled to take off runway 24 out of Cappuccino in Naples, and then scheduled to come in just south of Salerno at Lima, India, Romeo, India on runway 5. We'll see if ATC clears us with those same parameters, but time will tell. So it's time, I think, now to contact ATC, get our squawk, and maybe get some authorization for pushback. I assume we'll get a pushback if we can get a tug here. Either that or we're just going to have to... that's a pretty tight space. That's the last thing we want to do is start hitting gates on our way out. I'm sure we can get a pushback. But before we do that, we need to file our flight plan. So first things first, let's do a radio check. And let's just see, I'm gonna turn our music down just a tad, if you don't mind. That'll make things a little bit easier as we go to contact ATC. So let's give this a try. So call sign Whiskey Tango 168. We're going to be reaching out to Naples ground on information Golf, I believe, is what it was. So let's see. There we go. Naples ground, Whiskey Tango 168. Radio check, please.
Whiskey Tango 168, reading you loud and clear.
All right. Naples ground, Whiskey Tango 168, requesting IFR clearance to Salerno.
Whiskey Tango 168, Naples ground, expect runway 24. Climb 5,000 feet on runway centerline, then expect radar vectors VP 119er, squawk 1000.
Let's see if we can do a good readback here. Expect runway 24, climb 5,000 feet on runway centerline, then expect radar vectors Victor Papa 119er, squawk 1000, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Okay, let's get our squawk set up. 1000. And let's start that up. On.
Whiskey Tango 168, read back correct. Call me back when ready for start or taxi.
Call back when ready for start or taxi, Whiskey Tango 168. Okay. So far so good with communications. We've got our squawk set and broadcasting. We've got our flight plan filed. Only thing we need to do now is we need to request a pushback and start. We've already started, so let's just request pushback. Where are we at? We're at gate. Oh my goodness, I forgot. What gate are we at? gate 17 is what it looks like to me. We'll see if that's correct. Let's just find out. Okay, this could get a little dicey. Stand 17. Okay, here we go. Naples ground. Requesting pushback at stand 17, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, Naples ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face northeast.
Face northeast. Okay, so northeast means we're going to have to push back and to the our right. So if our tail is pushed back to the right, we will face northeast. Which makes sense because that's
Tango 168, Naples ground.
approved for pushback and engine start. Face northeast, Whiskey Tango 168. Alright. Let's get our pushback, shall we? Let's see. We've got our clearance. Can I get a pushback? Ground services. Jetway connection. Fuel supply. Okay, hold side. And we've got a pushback here. Oh, come on. I'm not going to get a pushback. Boo. Boo. What do they want from me? Do I gotta get... Let's try this. Pushback? Anyone gonna give me a pushback? I'm not gonna get a pushback, am I? That's rude. That is rude. Oh my goodness. Whatever. Okay. Fair enough. So I'm going to have to get my butt out of here. What's the easiest way to do that without killing myself? Might be able to do it that way. I could do a loop-de-loop. That might be what looks like it's clearer. That way or that way. I'm going to go to the right, but we're going to go slow. So with that said, let's bring our propellers down. And I'm going to bring my thrust way down. We don't want any surprises here. Take off our parking brake. And then we're moving, so... Whoa, slow down. Are we going to make it? Oh, it's going to be dicey. It's going to be dicey. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Can I tell you that? Okay, they want us facing northeast. That's the easy part. Alright, now let's get our taxi clearance, shall we? With quote pushback and engine start behind us, let's go ahead and get taxi clearance. And I'm pretty sure we want runway 24. Runway 24. Naples ground, requesting taxi to runway 24, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, runway 24 taxi via Charlie.
Runway 24 taxi via Charlie, Whiskey Tango 168. Alright, Charlie, easy enough. That's about the easiest taxi instruction I've ever received in my entire life. So that wants us out on Charlie. Charlie's right here. Charlie. Nah, I'm not so sure that might be a little oversimplified, but I think that's just a difference between the scenery, probably, and the software. So, bottom line is we're going to be taking off about halfway on that runway. What I'm trying to figure out is that if that's going to give us enough room, because we got Alpha over here, and we're going to be taking out. No, that's 06. So let's see, Charlie. Let's golf all the way to the end. So it's only going to give us a tiny. That's not enough. That makes no sense. It wants us on runway 24 at Charlie. Come on, get real. That gives us that much room to take off. No, I'm not buying it. I mean, it is a probably pretty long runway, but I'm not buying it. That seems like bad advice, to be honest. I'd rather go to at least Delta, if not Echo. So what do? Do you listen to the air traffic control when you know that they're giving you advice that is probably going to result in... That just doesn't seem like that's going to result in a good outcome at all. It gives me from here to here to get my butt off the ground. Is it possible? Probably. Is it likely? I don't know. Is it fun to try? Absolutely. Let's do it. What can happen? Famous last words, right? Okay. Well, let's get our butt out to Charlie, shall we? I don't have a departure programmed. Should I have one? Expect runway, climb to 5,000. On center line, expect vectors. Radar vectors. VP 119. So we don't really have a formal plan out. They're just going to give us vectors. Vector. Okay. Let's go. Let's find a taxi line here, shall we? Right up here.
Can we take Bravo for KLM 590 is approved in the file Alpha 16. Dankjewel, Bravo.
All right.
Channel 345 again. Amalfi, fine, bye-bye. Thank you, sir, bye-bye.
And we're already here to Charlie.
Ja, vrije Bravo en Volkssoort Alpha via Volkswagen.
Look, we do what we're told. At the hold short point. Let's get our takeoff clearance. Do a quick wind check. Naples ground. Holding short at runway 24. Wind check, please. Whiskey Tango 168.
Wind 005 at 5.
Okay, calm winds. Let's go ahead and get a takeoff clearance. Naples ground, Whiskey Tango 168, holding short at runway 24, ready for takeoff.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that.
Naples ground, holding short at runway 24, ready for takeoff. Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, request not understood.
Okay, this is when it gets fun, right? So how do we get our clearance? We did exactly what they told us to. Naples ground, holding short at Charlie, runway 24, requesting takeoff clearance, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that.
Naples ground, requesting takeoff clearance, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, request not understood.
That's funny. Whiskey Tango 168. That's me. Sorry.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that.
I don't think they think I've followed instructions to the takeoff point, because I think there's a discrepancy between the scenery. I mean, this is the default airport, though, in Naples, so I don't know if there's some other discrepancy here at Cappuccino, but let's just see if somehow we can get takeoff clearance. Naples ground, requesting takeoff clearance, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, request not understood.
Naples ground, holding short, runway 24, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that.
Let me just see if she even asked me to hold short. Hold tight. I may have just not followed the proper instructions. Whiskey Tango, Naples ground, expect runway 24. Climb 5,000 feet on runway centerline. Then expect radar vectors. So I think we're ready. I don't know if that's our clearance. I read it back, and read back was correct. Call me back when you're ready to start taxi. Read back correct. Call me back. Naples ground. Push back and engine started. Face northeast. Oh my gosh, maybe I didn't. Runway 24. No, I got taxi clearance. Runway 24, taxi via Charlie C. Didn't tell me to hold short on the taxi, so does that mean I have clearance to go? That's what I want to know. So I'm gonna head out and hopefully get vectors once we get to Victor Papa 119. So let's just check that out real quickly. Where's Victor Papa 119? There's Victor Papa 120, Victor Papa 119. So we're going to follow. We're going to take off here, going to the left, and come on out here. And I guess they'll give us vectors once we get here. I don't know. Well, either way, it'll all work somehow. I'm just going to tell them I'm leaving. They won't understand. They rarely do, but they'll know that I tried. Naples Grand, we've tried to communicate here for the last few minutes, and no one there at Tower seems to know what we're saying, so I just wanted to give you an advance warning that our plan is certainly to start taking off on runway 24. We're really genuinely hoping you'll provide vectors for us at Victor Papa 119 like you indicated. But if not, we hope you have a wonderful day, and we're going to explore the Sorrento Peninsula and Amalfi Coast. We'll try to find our way to Salerno with or without you. Thank you for your cooperation, and have a great day. Thank you.
Whiskey Tango 168. I didn't get that.
Right. Okay, give me 30 seconds and we will be taking off. Hold tight.
Gentlemen, I need you from, you can take Echo 5, contact 119 and that's 0. Alright, 230, Navigated there for September 1905. Romeo taxi runway 18 left, go to 7 at number 2. Left, number 2, Alpha. Left, Romeo. Gentlemen, I need you from, you can take Echo 5, contact 119 and that's 230. Alright, 230,
Okay, we're ready for takeoff. Here we go. Not a lot of room, so we're going to have to probably use a flap to get us some quick lift. I'm still not comfortable with the length of runway we have here. It's very, very short. But we'll cross our fingers. We'll just go full blast and pull up before we hit the trees, hopefully. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Plenty of room. Positive rate. Gear up. And there's Naples to the left. And the Bay of Naples in front of us. Let's go ahead and bring our thrusts down just a tad. And we'll start working on our trim a little bit. There's the train station. We never really did end up taking the train down to Naples, although it was at one point in time being considered in my plans.
All aircraft be advised, information hotel now current. QNH101 tree.
And that's Mount Vesuvius there in the distance. And we're going to be just skirting around the edge of it. We'll do a quick fly over Pompeii. And then we'll make our way over to the Sorrento Peninsula. Make sure we're in proper limits. Whoa, a little bit of turbulence there. Looks like we're in pretty good shape. I'm going to go ahead and dip our nose down a little bit so we can pick up some more airspeed. We'll see if we can even track down Pompeii. Might be a little tricky. I think what we'll do is we'll go to over to autopilot, make sure we've got 0 vertical speed. And let's set our heading bug straight ahead. Oops. There it is. And we'll go into heading mode for autopilot. Let's make sure that's working. A little bit to the right. Yeah, appears like it's working. And we'll make sure our vertical speed. Okay. There's the mountain. From what I recall, Pompeii is just going to be over here on this side of the mountain. There's the... It's an active volcano, actually, still. I think me and my wife took a pisser right around over here. That was our first pisser in Italy. Actually, she didn't. I think I did. All right, let's give this a try. We'll see what we can see down there. Okay. Like I say, I think Pompeii is like more out here in this area, if I remember correctly. I'm going to get vertical speed down just a little bit, get a little closer to the ground. So the mountain would have blown its top and all of the lava come down here, spilled down onto the town. I don't know how well this is going to be represented down here. Might not even be able to see it. I think it's this over here. I could be wrong. But if anything looks like it, that looks a little bit like it, and it might just, the simulator probably just doesn't know what the heck it is. I'm pretty sure that's probably it. All this area right in here, I'm guessing is the ruins. That's my guess, but I'm not sure. Yeah, because there's the train station. That's my guess. So it's interpreting them as buildings. I can't see anywhere else where it might be, unless right there, actually. That's it right there. There they are. There's the Pompeii ruins. Right down there. And there's the Colosseum, where Pink Floyd played live at Pompeii. And there's another smaller Colosseum right there. They may have actually played in that Colosseum. I think Pink Floyd played in that one. Okay, good. Pompeii's represented. Let's get ourselves down. Well, let's not hit a mountain for number one. Let's get ourselves turned. We'll go down the peninsula. So, when we drove this, we actually went through a tunnel system through this mountain. Get my vertical speed up just a tad. And I think we pushed through this mountain like right here. And there's a long tunnel system underneath there. And then you pop out on the other side of the peninsula. The island of Capri out here. I might need to do a little bit of flying at a lower elevation down there because Sorrento is much more impressive than what we're seeing here, right here. The cliffs, these are sheer cliffs, and our hotel was like right around that area right there. But I'm going to get down lower and see if I can get a better look. But this is nowhere near as impressive as the city itself. So let me do some manual flying. I'm going to get lower, see if it's going to change anything, but it probably will not. I'm going to drop my propellers, my airspeed. think I still have one set of flaps, if I do recall. Let's just get a little lower. I mean, we are up 4,000 feet. Let's get this down close to sea level.
Yeah, Transavia 3 Alpha, you be clear. Runway 24, and Henry 1 Sierra departure, and same squawk.
Clear to runway 24, Henry 1 Sierra, and same squawk, Transavia 3,
Down to 2,000 feet. Probably crash trying to make this happen, but I don't think we're going to get that much more detail, unfortunately. Let's just see what happens. Maybe we just need to wait for things to load in. I'm going to do another circle. But that's nothing even close. I think it still needs to load in, to be honest. Let's give it another chance to load in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's not fully loaded terrain. We'll just take it easy, get closer and closer to sea level. Down to 1,000 feet. Down to 800 feet. Yeah, the graphics right now have not caught up. So this will be interesting. These graphics have not caught up. Let's get a little bit lower than 800 feet. Let's get down to about 500 feet. And then we'll take a beeline straight in. There we go. Down to 700 feet. And down to 500 feet. Let's take another pass. See if we can get some of these cliffs to load in. .500 feet. It's going to be tight, and we're going to have to do some pretty tight maneuvering to make this work well. Down to 200 feet. Speed is still acceptable. Because I still see it loading in terrain back there. It's just really struggling with loading in the terrain. But this is just a super pretty area. But it's struggling. Can't load those textures in. Oh, they're starting to come in. They're starting to come in. Do I need to just bump right up against them? Alright, we're going to need to bank pretty hard here to avoid
All
catastrophe.
aircraft be advised information India now current. QNH101 tree.
Take one more pass here. Just gonna circle. I might need a little bit more power. I think I'm going to head out a little bit and then we'll come back in. That'll give us more time to maybe have the textures load in. Down to 200 feet. Little dicey. Just a little bit. Want to make sure we don't go past that 45 degree. Or, what is that, 30? I don't know, it's 30 degrees maybe. Okay, we'll come in straight at it. Skim the water here. Well, I have a feeling it's just going to take some doing to get those textures fully loaded. It's starting to come in, I mean, trees and stuff. So that's about as good as we're probably going to get. Yeah, you can tell they're just not fully loaded in. There's the port where our boat came from and where we went out to start our little trip. And this is the marina area, I believe, right over here. Or the, yeah, there's like boats and stuff out there. Alright, well, that's as good, and then there's just cars just running on the side of pixels over there. Okay, well, that's as good as we're going to get of the Sorrento coast. Go see pictures Go see pictures if you're interested. It's a pretty amazing cliffside resort area. It's beautiful. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Off around the corner to the Amalfi coast. The island of Capri ahead. Get a little closer to the coastline. Just a little. Double check my speed, make sure we're not getting towards any kind of stall circumstance. I believe that might be the little bay that we went to. There's a cave back there. Little cave back there that you can pull your boats in. Tons of fish swimming around. It was really cool. Here we go around the edge of the peninsula. Yeah, I feel like none of this terrain is loading in. This is not the kind of quality that you'd expect. There must be like slow bandwidth issues, possibly, with the servers. I can't imagine that there's not better textures that are going to come in on a very popular area of the world, but could be wrong. Never know. Never know. Maybe as we get closer to Amalfi, if we ever get closer to Amalfi and don't hit the mountain, goodness. That was cutting it close. I really need some help with my trim here. See if I can get it working with me.
KLM 526, survive on 1805. On 805, come 526. KLM 2 kilo, survive on 805. 1105, that's it. Header 5089, taxi Uniform Alpha Hotel Zulu.
I want to say straight ahead is Praiano. I could be wrong about that. The little town kind of built up on the hill on the very edge. I could be wrong though.
Header 5089, continue Alpha Cross runway 29, Hotel Hotel 3.
Is that Positano? That could be. That kind of looks like Positano, actually. Let's get on outside. That, to me, looks quite a bit like Positano, so we'll just assume for now that it is. If it is, it's an incredible, beautiful city. That looks a lot like Positano. I'll know further down we get, but I'm pretty sure that's it. Pretty dang sure. And then I'm guessing Praiano is in the middle of Positano. For some reason, I'm just getting these out of order because I thought you hit Praiano first, then Positano. But I think Praiano is that right there with Amalfi on the other side. We can verify this. We can do a fact check after the flight because I'm no expert. And that apparently that road that you drive on, we debated it. No, I didn't debate it for very long. Apparently that road is just bat crap crazy. Just bat crap crazy. Yep, I think we're on track. And then Amalfi will be pretty easy to spot. It's in a little bit of a canyon. It's not this one. Amalfi will be pretty easy to track, I think. I think it's straight ahead. You can kind of see it tucked up against the mountain. Somewhere down close here in this area, there is a little inlet that's got a bridge over top of it. It's a great little nook for swimming. I'm not sure if it's going to show up here. There's Amalfi, I believe. Now, it's thrown me off just a tad. That's all generic. That's all generic. For some reason, though, this felt a little more like Amalfi to me. Down here. Not doing it justice, of course, with the architecture, but I'm going to have to go back and do some double checking because this feels more like Amalfi here than the other. And I'm pretty sure it is. But I'm not certain for sure. I'm not certain. It may not be. We'll go back and look. None of it is even close to giving anything a very good resemblance of that coast. Other than the coastline is, you know, a rough estimate. And other than that road right there does exactly that. That's stone by stone. That's how that road looks on the Amalfi Coast. I'm surprised they haven't done a little more in custom terrain for the Amalfi Coast. That surprises me. It's one of the most beautiful areas in the world. Plus, it's colorful, super colorful. And then we've got Salerno ahead, I believe. And our airport is over there. I might scope it out before we set up our approach. I'll have to look on YouTube, see if anybody's got any better textures on this route than I did. I mean, the terrain's pretty, though. No doubt about that. And we never made it this far. We never made it down to Salerno. Just took a boat down and then went back. And those are the roads back to the other side of the mountain, which would kind of be a fun little road to take. Really is a pretty part of the world. This is the airport in Salerno, Ponte Cagnano, something like that. Ponte Cagnano. Every time they have those G's against those N's, I never get that right. Ponte Cognagno. It's spelled like Ponte Cognano. Cognano. I would say Ponte Cognano. That's my guess. But who knows? With the airport straight ahead. We'll scope it out, then we'll come back around and get a approach clearance. That's some decent turbulence. And there's the runway over there. Okay. I don't think we're going to get ATC to cooperate with us. That's just my gut feel. Naples ground. Whiskey Tango 168, wind check.
Whiskey Tango 168. Request not understood.
Naples ground, request arrival runway change, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, you've not yet been assigned an arrival runway. We'll come back with a descent clearance closer to your top of descent.
Top of descent, huh? I have broken the flight plan, like, beyond recognition, and that's my own fault because this was more of a tour guide flight. But let's try to get back on course. So what it wants us to do is it wants to go back out to our course out here in the bay and play nice and come back in the way we were asked to come in. Now, top of descent, I'm guessing is going to be, I'm going to go all the way out to Romeo India 482, the very end of that line, and then we'll come in and try to get some clearance. What's my altitude? We're sitting at about a little over 2,000 feet. Not bad. Speed, I'm going to tilt my nose down just a tad. Bring flaps up. If I had them down, I think I did have flaps down just a little bit. Let's just see. Yep, because there goes my speed. Now we're kicking it. Bring down the propellers and the thrust. About 150 knots. No point in, when you think about it, there was really no point in making a flight plan and having ATC walk me through when I knew darn well I wasn't going to even follow even remotely the closest path to that file. So that's fair. Just Just kind of floating around 1,500 feet. How are we doing with fuel? About half a tank. Gonna set a heading bug to line up with us. Oops. And we'll go back to autopilot. Bring our nose up just a little bit so we don't lose too much ground. Now, I don't know how high up I'm supposed to be with my top of descent, but clearly not at, 500, 600 feet. So we'll see how well this plays with us when we get out there. Making progress. And maybe they'll call us. Who knows? Maybe they've just given up on us. Now I'm going to request an altitude change down to 2,000 and hopefully they cooperate with that. Naples ground, Whiskey Tango 168, requesting altitude change to 2,000 feet.
Whiskey Tango 168, you broke up. Say again altitude.
Sorry, altitude 2000, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that altitude. Say again altitude.
Naples ground, request altitude 2000, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, enable your flight is to the southeast and 2,000 feet is an even-numbered flight level. Please pick an odd altitude.
We'll do 1,500 feet, since Naples ground, request 1,500 feet, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, confirm new cruise altitude 1,500 feet.
New cruise altitude 1,500 feet, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that. Say again confirmation.
Confirm cruise altitude 1,500 feet, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that. Say again confirmation.
Naples ground, confirm altitude 1,500 feet, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that. Say again confirmation.
Confirm. My brother. Confirm 1,500 feet, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that. Say again confirmation.
Confirm 1,500 feet, Whiskey Tango 168. There we
Whiskey Tango
go.
168, roger. New cruise altitude 1,500 feet.
Okay, now we're in business. Now we're in business.
But I think I know the answer. Better contact them.
That took some doing. Now we're just going to do just a huge 180 right here. Just a literal 180. We're below cruise altitude 1,500, but that's okay. Okay, we'll adjust to get back on course. Now, since we're going the opposite direction, we should be able to request an even altitude, wouldn't you think? Let's see if that works. We'll request 1,000. Once we get back online. I'm almost there. Almost there, as you can see. And there it is coming in. Goodness. We're Got to give ourselves a little bit of oomph because we are nearly stalling. Put my nose down just a tad. I don't know if that's going to help. I just think we need more thrust, to be quite honest with you. Okay, let's tilt. We're going to be requesting runway 5 at the airport. Runway 5 is going to have a heading of exactly 48 degrees. Oops. 48 degrees. There's... a little tricky to see. That's going to be 6, 8, 5, 48. We're moving probably a little bit too much to the right, is my guess. 48 is probably going to be somewhere in there, maybe. Find out. Now I'm going to request my new altitude. We've got an even kiln here of about 100 knots. It's pushing it on the speed side, but it's nice to be going slow. And it doesn't look like we're losing speed, nor are we losing altitude. We're at about 1,250. So we're going to request altitude. I don't know. Maybe we'll just leave it at 1,500, honestly. Let's request arrival runway change. Naples ground on final descent, requesting runway 5, Salerno. Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, did not copy.
Naples ground, request arrival runway change, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, you've not yet been assigned an arrival runway. We'll come back with a descent clearance closer to your top of descent.
I mean, this is pretty close to the top of my descent. Because, I mean, I'm way too low for my plan.
You can stay with me.
We start through then and take with you your name 103, Colonel 613. That's Colonel 613, request taxi.
That's Colonel 613, taxi.
2407, I want to go for Alpha Eagle Alpha.
It's up to you, but because of the slot, you cannot be airborne until 3 minutes from now.
Pick up, we take off. That's Colonel 613.
Naples ground on final, requesting approach, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, request not understood.
Okay. Let's try the request arrival runway change again. Naples ground, request arrival runway change, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, you've not yet been assigned an arrival runway. We'll come back with a descent clearance closer to your top of descent.
Naples ground, Whiskey Tango 168, requesting arrival clearance. Descent clearance is what I wanted.
Whiskey Tango 168, request not understood.
Let's try that again. Naples Ground, Whiskey Tango 168, requesting descent clearance.
Whiskey Tango 168. I didn't get that.
Naples Ground, Whiskey Tango 168, ready to descend.
Whiskey Tango 168. Did not copy.
Let's try this. Naples Ground, on final, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168. Did not copy.
I know what my problem is, now that I think about it. I'm on the wrong frequency, right? I don't know what frequency I'm on. I'm on 121.9, and that's like literally ground, probably. So let's go to center, 131.1. Almost guarantee you that's part of the problem. And I probably won't have time to fix it. Let's just switch on over and see if that helps at all. Announce on frequency. Okay, let's announce on frequency. Rome radar with you on 131.100, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, reset transponder. Squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, Rome radar. Good day. Radar contact. Continue climb to 5,000 feet. QNH 1014.
Wants me up to 5,000. That's not going to happen. Radar contact. Continue climb to 5,000. QNH 1014. Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, Rome radar. Expect Sir 4 Foxtrot. Runway 2 tree.
Expect so far Foxtrot, runway 23, Whiskey Tango 168. Runway 23, that's, let's change. I really want to change. Rome radar, request arrival runway change, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, roger, say runway.
Runway 05, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, we're not landing planes on 05 at the moment. Unable runway change.
Oh gosh.
Whiskey Tango 168, you're off course. Cleared direct Sorrento VOR. Resume own navigation.
I'm way off course. Up to 2,000 feet. It wants me to land coming the other way. Alright, so, how do we get back? You're off course, cleared direct.
Whiskey Tango 168, you're off course. Cleared direct Sorrento VOR. Resume own navigation.
Clear direct Sorrento VOR, resume own navigation, Whiskey Tango 168. I'm going to get clearance to land. If I can. He wants me on 23, and that's fine, so... Rome radar, requesting clearance to land, runway 23, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, request not understood.
Okay, so... Rome radar, expect SOR for Foxtrot, runway 23, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, I didn't get that.
Rome radar, request landing, runway 23, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, did not copy.
Rome radar, request clearance to land, Whiskey Tango 168.
Whiskey Tango 168, did not copy.
Okay, I'm going to come off autopilot. I'm just going to land. We'll figure out this ATC one day. But I need to go manual or I'm going to be in trouble. And if I'm not careful, I'm going to be landing on runway 23 anyways. But I'm going to go for runway 5 if I can. I'm going to drop our speed. .15-degree flaps. And I'm just going to coast on in if we can. Gear down. Flaps all the way down. Our gears down. Now we just gotta gauge our speed. We should run out of speed and stall roughly around when we hit the runway, I would think.
Whiskey Tango 168, you were assigned 5,000 feet. I show you at 495 feet.
That's
Climb
correct.
to 5,000 feet.
That is correct. We tried to work with you, and you did not cooperate. So we kind of did our own thing, just to be honest with you. Just trying to be transparent here. Let's stall out.
Whiskey Tango 168, Rome radar.
Alright, whoa. Alright, well, we've landed in Salerno. Let's just find a taxiway to hop off without causing too much damage to anybody. Here we go. Here's a... Let's see if we can get Salerno ground and get clearance to at least taxi to parking. That'd be one thing we could do, right? Oh, Salerno ground is what frequency? We're going to be on aerodrome information 119. Is that it? I mean, what's aerodrome? I don't even know what aerodrome means. Maybe that's everything. Let's just go to 119, 175 and see what they'll offer. 119, 175. Hang on. There it is. Let's see what they give us. And no actions on the aerodrome. So, I don't even know what an aerodrome info is. Maybe it's just not the right chart for us. Let's see what other charts they might have. Parking stalls. Do we have it? We're not gonna have ground. Like, it's just too small an airport to have stand number 21 through 24. But I just don't think we're gonna get ground frequency here in Salerno at Ponte Cagnano. Only one frequency that I can find, and that is offering no services. So our trip is coming to an end. We're going to have to find our own parking spot, which let's do, so we can go in and watch the women's gymnastics final, to which we likely already know the result, because who doesn't? Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to park here. It's probably on the other side, the east apron. We're gonna have to cross the runway. At least the architecture looks slightly Italian. I guess that's good. That looks slightly Italian. I don't think we're going to have any competition on this airstrip, so we're just going to keep going. We'll just park right next to this guy. And there we have it. Safe arrival in Salerno. Can't complain about that. Still need to spend a little bit of time working out the air traffic control. But, that'll come in time. That'll come in time. So, shut the plane down. Let's do it so properly so we can keep it in good shape for our next flight. First things first. Hey, how did that bottle fly out of here? Jeez. Slobs. Alright. Cowl flap shut. Let's bring mixture down. Shut off. Strobe beacon and nav off. Avionics off. Alternator off. Battery off. Make sure we shut off the fuel lines. Put our flaps back up, bring gears down, obviously. And magnetos off. guard them. Bringing out electronic flight bag. Go ahead and look at the shape of our vehicle. Do a quick inspect. How we doing? Not bad. All right. Getting a little bit dirty there, but that's okay. We'll clean it another day. Kind of fun to get it dirty. And nose baggage open. Open up the passenger door. May as well open up our window too. Let a little air in. All right, here we go. Control lock on. Wheel chock set. Pitot covers. Check. Intake covers. Check. Engine covers. Covered. And I think we're there. That's it. Reset our cabin air for the next time around. Fan off. Parking brake on. Okay, that's it. Everything's reset. Ready to go for the next flight. So, thanks for joining us. HeadTrip Air World Tour flight number 168 from Naples to Salerno, southern Italy. From here, we'll be going back up past Rome through Tuscany up to Viareggio, and we'll take a quick look at Cinque Terre, and we'll see if that's how that's rendered. If it's rendered in any more detail than the Amalfi Coast. I doubt it. Amalfi Coast is actually a little, in my mind, a little more commercial and touristy. I mean, they're both super touristy actually, but if Amalfi Coast isn't rendered in a lot of detail, I have a hard time believing Cinque Terre is going to be. Venice will be, obviously. Florence will be, obviously. We may get Verona probably not so much, but the Colosseum should be there, I would think. Then we'll go up into the Alps and check out the Dolomites. That'll be fun. And then into Germany for a short stint over to Zurich, and then we're out of there, or back down to Milan, and then we're out of there. We'll go from Milan, get in the Boeing 737-800, and we'll move along to another country and continue the tour of HeadTrip Air World Tour, where we plan to circumnavigate the entire globe, touching down on every country in the process, and it's taken some time to do that, but we're still at it. So there is that. Have a good evening. Enjoy the Olympics while they still continue. I think USA is like in 4th or 5th place as far as total gold medals. Japan's killing it. China are probably right behind them. But who knows? We still have braking coming up. You never know. Maybe that'll turn the tide. Enjoy. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you on the flip side.